welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back to the channel, guys. And just before we do get into what's going to be a crucial weekend for Barça in La Liga, today we are going to discuss some news. And I think it's really interesting, the kind of stuff that we have got today. We've got Jordi Alba and Pedri both giving interviews and both really expressing the delight right now in the team, the real motivation following that arrival of Joan Laporta as president. That was fantastic to hear from those two, and they also expressed their thoughts and their feelings on the future of Lionel Messi. Where will that be? Well, once again today, we're discussing it all. So let's get to it. But first of all, I do want to talk about the main man himself. I want to talk here about our new president, Joan Laporta. I am never ever going to get tired of saying that, because today Laporta did indeed sit down for his very first board meeting as the new Barça president. And he's the kind of person who's not going to waste any time. He's not going to sit around waiting for things to come into place. He's going to get down to business and try and get this club back on the right track as soon as he possibly can. And apparently next week, he is going to be meeting in a lot more detail there with Ronald Koeman to discuss the transfer plans, the plans there for the squad for next season. All of that is going to be coming in that meeting next week. And it's also been reported that Joan Laporta is going to travel once again this weekend with the team for their game, heading away to Sociedad in San Sebastian. And I'm sure again, it's going to be a big boost to have our president on the road with us. But I do also want to bring your attention there to earlier on Friday, because before that board meeting took place, Joan Laporta there attended his first official event as the Barça president. He was present there at the inauguration of the Cruyff Court in La Hospitalet in Barcelona. And basically that inauguration there is part of a collaboration between the Cruyff Foundation, the Barça Foundation, La Caixa Foundation, and indeed the government of that neighbourhood. And Laporta there, as he has done so many times, he spoke out here with some great words for the late Johan Cruyff. He said, without Johan, I would never have become president of Barça. He said, without that support, I wouldn't be here. He said, he showed me a life philosophy that I always keep present with me, even today. And he said, I'm sure that if now we have an amazing period at Barcelona, it will be again thanks to Johan, because we have him present in all of our decisions. And it was interesting indeed, because it wasn't just there Joan Laporta representing Barcelona in that inauguration for Cruyff Court, but also Jordi Alba was the player there who was representing the club, and he also happened there earlier on in the day to sit down with an exclusive interview with Sport, where, like I say, he touched on some very interesting topics. Because when Alba was indeed asked there about the arrival of the new president, Joan Laporta, and how he'd taken to that, and indeed how the squad had taken to that news, Alba said he was in absolutely no doubt. He said it's great. He said it's fantastic there that Joan is with us. He said he knows exactly what he's doing. His appointment has gone down really well in the dressing room. And like I say, I think that's really significant there. The players clearly are very much on board with Laporta coming in. He said, I'm sure that he's going to do a great job. He said he's a person that everybody has respect for what he's done and for who he is. He said, I'm very happy that the Prezi is here with us. He will be a visible leader for everyone. Alba was then indeed asked about Ronald Koeman and about his continuation potentially beyond the end of the season there, should he indeed remain in charge for the second year of his contract at Barcelona. And again, Alba not in much doubt at all about this. He said, I've always had the support of the coach. He said he's a legend at this club. He said he's a coach that's always up front with the players, and that's something for me that's really important. He said he's doing a really good job, and the players are responding to what he asks from us. And I think that's an important point there. Koeman does strike me as that coach who is very upfront with the players. He will tell them, he will be perfectly honest, whether they've been good, whether they've been bad, what we need to work on. He is somebody there who's honest and genuine, and that goes down well with the players. Alba there saying, it's not my decision on whether he continues, but it's clear that he's doing a great job for the club and for all of us. And that appears to be the players and indeed the incoming president, who are in full support right now of Ronald Koeman. Jordi Alba there went on to talk about the dressing room, indeed asked there about the harmony and the feeling between the players. He said the dressing room has always been united. He said, I think the mix right now of veterans and young players that we have in the squad, it's a really good dressing room right now. We all feel very good. He said, because at the end of the day, you live with all of the players, all of the staff on a day-to-day basis. He said it's essential that everybody gets on well. He said we're in a good moment of form, the results are coming, the atmosphere is good, and that's what's most important to achieve your objectives. And it was also really interesting, I felt there, when Alba was asked about the new system that Ronald Koeman has deployed there with the three at the back and the fullbacks really pushing on, whether it suits somebody there like Jordi Alba. He said it's true. The system is really good for my characteristics. He said, but in any system that Barca use, the premise is always to have the ball as much as you possibly can. But he said, of course, for a player like me who likes to attack, who loves to go forward, he said there's no doubt that it does benefit players like us. He said you also got to keep in mind that it always helps when the team is playing better and doing well. He said right now we're in a very good moment. And of course, we are all hoping that continues. Unsurprisingly, Jordi Alba was asked indeed there about his partner in crime, Lionel Messi, somebody there who he always seems to find out there on the pitch. They link up incredibly well between the two of them, and they have done now for many, many years. Does Alba believe that Messi will stay at Barca beyond the summer? Alba said, with Leo, I've always had a really good relationship, both on and off the pitch. He said, we understand each other very, very well. He said, I really hope that he continues with us. He said, he's one of a kind. He's the best in the world, and I hope that he stays. But he said it's a decision that he must make himself, and that should be respected. He said because whatever happens, we have to accept it. We got to accept whatever decision he makes. He said, but above all, he's a person and a player that clearly loves Barca. He said he's happy here, and he's always shown that with the level that he's given us during all of these years. I hope that he stays. And finally though, speaking of the man we are about to come on to, Jordi Alba was indeed there asked about the youngster Pedri and what he's felt about him this season, and indeed now with his call up to the Spanish national team. Jordi Alba said he's a kid that perfectly understands how Barca play. He said he's an incredible, unique player. He said he's fitted with the team really well. He's humble. He knows how to listen. I think he deserves the call up to Spain. He said he is still really young, and of course there's no need to get ahead of ourselves, but he will give us a lot of joy. Which does bring us there nicely on to the topic of Pedri, because Jordi Alba was not the only one who did an interview. Pedri has also sat down there, like I say, having been called up to the Spanish national team. An amazing moment for him, and he's somebody there who's reflected on the season that he's had so far at Barca, and I just love everything about this young man. He seems to have not only so much ability, but also he says all of the right things. He seems to have his head in the right place, and that is so important at the very top level. He said, when I joined, I was only thinking about doing pre-season. He said I was basically seeing if I could continue with the team, if I was able to somehow earn myself some minutes. He said I really didn't expect this. He said what I'm experiencing right now at Barca, he said it's incredible. He said my last year, it's been full of emotions ever since I arrived. He said I have my family very close by. He said they make sure that I keep a cool head. He said by being humble, I prepare myself for everything. Pedri was then asked indeed about the position that he prefers to play out there on the field. He said the position that I do like to play most is in midfield. He said being behind the striker and being able to play that very last pass. He said that's something that I really enjoy, but I love this about him, and you've seen this right throughout the season. He said, but I'm here for whatever the coach needs and to play in whatever position I am required to play. And again, more inspiring words, more humble words here from a player who has exploded onto the scene this season. He said Barca already have so many idols. He said players like Messi, like Piqué, and many, many more. He said the young people who are starting out and coming through. He said like myself, Ansu Fati, Ricky. He said we need to play at a high level to stay here in the first team. And again, it's about that work. He's come up. He's done everything. He is achieving right now unbelievable things, but he still has to want more. He still has to keep working, keep playing at that level, and he knows it. And that is what is so exciting there about Pedri. And it was also really interesting in that interview he was asked there about Joan Laporta, and take a look at this, because that is a young Pedri you are seeing having an autograph signed there by none other than Laporta. Pedri said, yeah, he said, that was me. He said, it was an absolute honour to receive Joan Laporta's autograph on my shirt when I was a kid. This is a boy here who's idolised Barca, who's watched players like Andres Iniesta, has been inspired by them, and now he is living the dream every single moment of it, and I absolutely love that. And of course he was then asked about Messi, again somebody who has a terrific partnership with him. Pedri and Messi's combination right the way through the season, it has been outstanding to watch. He said the very first day that I saw Messi, he said I thought it was a lie. He said when I was there just standing next to him, I was just so shocked. He said it was like being on television or in a video game. He said I almost couldn't believe it. He said, but I love playing with Messi. He said it's so easy because when you give the ball to him, he said you know that something's going to happen. He said that's all that I try to do all the time. He said I'm looking for Messi, I give it to him in the best positions, and that's going to be most beneficial for the team. And that's the really intelligent thing about Pedri, because playing with Messi, it isn't for everybody. Although he says it's easy there, it does take there a lot from a young player to step up to the first team the way that he's done and just automatically be able to link up with Messi and do the things that he's doing. He has done absolutely incredibly well. And when Pedri there was asked about Messi's future, he said, I hope that I can be close to him for many years to come. He said it would be great if I could continue there to enjoy playing and learning many things there playing alongside him. He said, but I understand that is a personal decision for him that he has to make, but I hope he stays. And that's now Joan Laporta, it's now Jordi Alba, it's now Pedri, it's every single one of us fans. Of course we want Messi to stay, of course we want him to be part of the exciting future right now we are heading towards. And please guys, do leave your thoughts in the comments down below on everything we have discussed. I did just want to bring you there those really interesting quotes of me about the way the squad do seem really energised now following that arrival of Joan Laporta. Like I say, a massive game to come. It's Real Sociedad against Barça, and all the content you need, it'll be coming up here on Talk FCB and over on More Talk FCB too. I want to thank you guys for all of your incredible support. It really does mean a lot to me. And I will see you soon for plenty more to come. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.